Hello YouTube and fellow DC comic fans, I'm Keith One Shot, and this is my Comic Complete dramatic reading series, and today we will be covering Batman Rebirth issue 23, The Brave and the Mold by DC Rebirth. All art, characters, text, and storylines belong to DC Comics, not me. If you enjoy this story, feel free to go out and support DC Comics in your local comic book shops.
If you listen to me, I'll sing you a song of a flower that's now drooped and dead. Yet dearer to me, yes, than all of its mates, though each holds aloft its proud head. 'Twas given to me by a girl that I know. Since we've met, faith, I know no repose.
A bearded old man sits in a chair in a dark room, singing that poem. Just then, choo-choof! 2 shots are fired, point blank, both hitting the old man. He falls to the ground and with his dying words says, "She's dearer by far than the world's brightest star, and I call her my Irish Rose." This is Batman and Swamp Thing, The Brave and the Mold. At the crime scene of the recently killed old man, we see Jim Gordon going over the details of the case with Batman. Jim telling Batman, "We got a driver's license from Louisiana, Lloyd Bernard McGrin, age 68, 2 shots in the head. The first would have done the job. Don't know what the second was about. They came in through the window. Only in Gotham. We're on the damn 84th floor," Jim says. Jim Gordon is telling Batman how the victim never left his apartment much, except the mail letters and the occasional trip to the bar at night, and how he never had visitors over. Didn't have much of a criminal record either, didn't have much of a record at all. Lloyd McGrin, for the most part, didn't exist. While Batman and Jim Gordon are talking, we see mold on a table in the victim's apartment start to grow. The mold begins forming fingers, then a full hand. Jim is unaware this is happening right behind him, and he tells Batman, "Life is life. Dead is still dead," referring to the victim. Suddenly, behind Batman and Gordon, the Swamp Thing appears from the mold and says, "I disagree," which just about gives Jim Gordon a heart attack, and Jim says, "What in the name of, are you, there's, okay. Jim takes out his pipe and lights it up to calm his nerves and says to Batman, "I'm guessing the two of you are previously acquainted?" Swamp Thing then says, "Dead is not dead. Dead is falling back to life." Batman asks Swamp Thing, "Is there a problem, Alec?" Swamp Thing replies, "No, Batman, there is not a problem. This was my father." We are then brought to Wayne Manor, where Bruce Wayne is asking Swamp Thing some questions about Swamp Thing's father. Bruce asks, "When was the last time you saw him?" "It's been too long. We were not close." "I see," says Bruce. Then Swamp Thing tells Batman that his father left him when he was 5, and his mother remarried, and he was raised by his stepfather, where he had his name. Bruce asks Swamp Thing if his father knew about him, and Swamp Thing tells Bruce, "I visited him once. After the swamp, we spoke for some time about many things. After we spoke, he would send letters." Bruce then says, "You don't seem upset." And Swamp Thing asks, "Should I be?" "Well, yes, the loss of one's parents can be disheartening," Bruce says. Swamp Thing then tells Bruce how his father was a light, careless proton descending, how his father was born in Louisiana, how he had a child, and he moved to Gotham, and how his father's life ended, shot in the head twice. And Swamp Thing says to Bruce, "He will be decomposed. He will come back to the green." "Dust to dust, then," Bruce says. Swamp Thing replies saying, "Not dust to dust, no. Nothing changes. But life, death, all of it is the same. All of it is change." Bruce then asks Swamp Thing why he's here, and Swamp Thing replies saying, "I don't know. I don't know why I'm here, and I would like to know, so that is why I am here." Meanwhile, Alfred is trying his best to clean up after Swamp Thing's muck and mud that he leaves behind him, and Bruce says to Alfred, "A break-in on the 84th floor. At least that gives us somewhere to start." We then go to the top of a Gotham City skyscraper, where Batman has someone to see. Just then, Batman leaps down and lands right on the Kite Man, who is gliding through the sky as Batman grabs Kite Man. The two begin falling towards the ground, and Kite Man screams in a panic and fear, "I don't want to die! I don't want to die! I don't want to die!" Batman yells to Kite Man, "3 days ago, a murder, 84th floor of Wensington Tower." Kite Man, still in fear for his life, tells Batman, "I saw the kite! I saw the kite! I saw the kite!" "Who?" Batman asks, as the two keep falling towards the ground. Batman says again, "Who?" Money's pawn shop, North Staten!" Kite Man answers Batman's question. While Batman and Kite Man were falling towards the ground, Swamp Thing is standing on a lower rooftop and growing out his arms to form a net to catch the two, as he says the poem, the same poem that his father sang at the beginning of this comic. "If you listen to me, I'll sing you a song of a flower that's now drooped and dead. Yet dearer to me, yes, than all of its mates,
though each holds aloft its proud head. 'Twas given to me by a girl that I know. Since we've met, faith, I've known no repose. She's dearer by far than the world's brightest star, and I call her my Irish Rose.
Swamp Thing then catches Batman and Kite Man, and now that Batman has the information that he needs, he heads to Mooney Money's pawn shop in North Stanton. At the pawn shop, the owner tells Batman that he doesn't know the name of the person who bought the kite, as he paid with cash, and says the guy came in for a gun, saw the kite, got more excited for that than he did anything else in here. And then he shows Batman the footage of the man who bought the kite, and Batman knows who it is. Nat the Nat, a local weapon supplier. So Batman pays Nat a visit, and Nat tells Batman, how many times have we been through this, Batty? People buy from me because I don't talk. So guess what? I don't talk. Batman, being the master detective he is, notices that Nat is wearing a necklace, and it has a tooth on it. And it's a special tooth that Nat didn't have before he bought the kite in the footage. Batman then notes that the color and shape of the tooth, and how it's from an extremely rare croc, and how no one has more than one of these teeth besides Headhunter, a mercenary who shoots victims in the head twice, always twice, wants to kill them, and no one knows why he does it again. Batman, now in the Batcave, tells Swamp Thing that he's hunted Headhunter before, and that he runs and hides, and this won't be easy. Just as Batman tells Swamp Thing how hard this will be, Swamp Thing tells Batman that Headhunter just entered the Gotham City Museum of Art, saying, "The grass told me." Batman then tells Swamp Thing that they'll take the Batmobile there. In the Batmobile, Swamp Thing asks Batman why he needs a car, and Batman replies saying, "I don't know, why do you need a body?" Swamp Thing laughs, and the two of them arrive at the Gotham City Museum of Arts, where Headhunter is looking over a painting, admiring the artist's work. Batman asks Headhunter about Lloyd McGrin, Swamp Thing's father, and Headhunter tells Batman, "He was by himself, singing at Mulligan's. It was a good tune. I liked it. I asked him what it was about, and he said it was about life. He asked me if I knew about life. I didn't know. I knew something about death, though, maybe." Then Headhunter goes on to tell Batman how Lloyd McGrin told him that life and death are the same, but that he didn't know what it means, as Lloyd McGrin heard that from his son, and that he was bragging to Headhunter at the bar that his son was Swamp Thing. So, Headhunter figured that he's been fighting superheroes his whole life, getting punched by them, getting punched by Batman even. So here's this guy bragging at the bar about how close he is to superheroes, so Headhunter followed Lloyd McGrin home that night and shot him in the head twice. And Headhunter then tells Batman, jokingly, "It was really a good tune." Just then, in the rage, Swamp Thing begins attacking Headhunter with his vines, and very quickly kills Headhunter by growing plants throughout Headhunter's body in a very gruesome display. Batman tries stopping Swamp Thing, yelling out several times, "Alec, stop! Alec! Alec!" Swamp Thing says again his father's poem.
"If you listen to me, I'll sing you a song of a flower that's now drooped and dead, yet dearer to me, yes, than all of its mates, though each holds aloft its proud head. 'Twas given to me by a girl that I know. Since we've met, faith, I've known no repose. She's dearer by far than the world's brightest star, and I call her my Irish Rose."
Swamp Thing says his father would sing that poem to him when he was little and scared, and Batman examines Headhunter's body and tells Swamp Thing, "I helped you! I gave him to you! You used me, and you just killed him!" Swamp Thing tells Batman,
"He killed my father. I can't ever know. I won't know. My father is dead."
Batman replies saying,
"Dead? Killed? What happened to the light descending? The weed? The birth? The damn change? Where did that go?"
Swamp Thing tells Batman how he didn't open any of the letters his father sent to him, that he let them fall into the swamp. Then Swamp Thing says,
"My father, you don't understand." "Your father? I don't understand? Who do you think I am?"
Batman asks. Swamp Thing replies,
"I think I must think. You are the reason I am here, and now that I know, I do not need to be here."
Just then, Swamp Thing begins to wither away and leaves Batman alone, yelling,
"No! No! This isn't over! You have to explain it to me again! You have to tell me my mother and father are falling back into the life! No! Not now! You're not leaving now, you coward! Coward! Coward!"
And that ends Batman Rebirth, issue 23, The Brave and the Mold. comic published by DC Comics. All rights, stories, arts, and characters are owned by DC Comics and their respective owners, not me. This has been Batman Rebirth, issue 23, The Brave and the Mold, and I'm your host, Keith One Shot. If you like this video, make sure to support DC Comics and pick up a copy of the trades or single issue comics. Support your local comic book shop. Take care. Have a great day. Goodbye.